Welcome to Hong Kongese Speak Cantonese. It is a channel of teaching traditional Chinese characters, vocabulary and Cantonese. Starting from basic writing, meaning of character and vocabulary, you will learn proper written Chinese in this channel. Then you can know more about China and experience more Chinese culture by reading on web. You may wonder why I choose Cantonese as spoken Chinese and why not choose simplified Chinese character in this channel. The reason is not only I'm a Hong Kong Chinese. After watching this video, you may know the reasons behind. Chinese is almost 1/5 of the world's population. Other than in the mainland China, you can meet Chinese everywhere in different parts of the world. China has a long history and passed more than 10 dynasties in the past 4,000 years. Han Chinese is the major race and ruled over China most of the time. Except two were conquest dynasties, in which the whole country was ruled by minor races. They were the Mongol Yuan dynasty and the Manchu Qing dynasty. Especially the Qing dynasty, it ruled the country almost 300 years. They brought a lot of non-reversible changes to Han Chinese, and the most obvious one was spoken language. Manchu people had to learn Han language to rule the majority Han people at the beginning. Even though they learned very hard, they could not speak well, because the pronunciation was very difficult for them to speak in a correct way. Most of Manchu people were living in an enclosed area in Beijing. Day after day, the frequent use of that language distorted the original Han language. In the end, a new language was formed and became a standardized language in government. It was Mandarin. Foreigners may tend to learn Mandarin, for it is the most common or popular language of Chinese, or maybe Cantonese seems to be more complicated. Yes, maybe. The pronunciation of Cantonese is a bit difficult than that of Mandarin, for it has 9 tones, which are more than 4 tones of Mandarin. However, in other word of complicated, we can say Cantonese is an abundant language, for it contains abundant vocabulary. For example, in Cantonese we can use at least 14 ways or single characters to describe the action of looking. Cantonese can be expressed in a very respectful, humble and polite way like Japanese respectful language that was almost lost in Mandarin, or it can only be found in formal written Chinese. On the other hand, Cantonese is believed to be one of the foulest languages, for it involves quite a lot of sexual related words. When Cantonese people quarrels, they may curse the other side's mother or even a few generations ancestors. The history shows that in the past 1,000 years Han people migrated down to southern part of China few times during the periods of war. They brought culture as well as language to the area. Cantonese is one of the southern languages, by which we can read the ancient poems at right rhythm and tone. Also, Cantonese preserves a large number of vocabulary that can be found in ancient poems and literatures. So that Cantonese is a good tool of learning Chinese language and culture. Cantonese is not a dialect of Chinese. It is more than a dialect. It is a language. Chinese character was commonly used in Eastern Asian countries in the past centuries. Nowadays we still can find its footprint in some countries. Learning Chinese character is also a step of learning Japanese. For Japanese language has only 50 basic sounds and their compound sounds. Without Chinese character, the meaning of whole sentence may be confused. Japanese kanji is a bit different from Chinese character though. It is more similar to the traditional Chinese character than the simplified one. For example, the character love is exactly the same, but the simplified one is different. The simplified love is easily recognized, while another example holiness may be not. Simplified Chinese character is used in mainland China, Singapore and Malaysia, while traditional Chinese character is used in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau and by most overseas Chinese. Chinese character was gradually simplified in the history. The last simplification campaign was carried out in the last century after the new China set up. The purpose of that time was to reduce the number of illiteracies, but most of the characters were simplified too much. In the end, the characters do not only lose their beauty, but also lose their visual meaning. On the other hand, like Cantonese, traditional Chinese is used for classical materials such as poems and works of art like calligraphy and paintings. In conclusion, Cantonese is a good way for you to study Chinese and its culture. This video will end here. In the next video, we will discuss the basic strokes of Chinese character. If you find this video useful to you, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you next time.